Alright, so what's up you guys, it's Flock again. So I just want to, I don't know, I kind of want to touch basis on the warrior training mentality and how it's been working out for me. So if you've got good logic, logic isn't just something that you can just say, I'm a logical thinker. You need to practice logic. Logic is a word and it applies to a lot of things, but you need to practice your logic if you're going to be good at it, which means problem solving, comprehension, things like that. If you're not a logical thinker, then things become erratic and spastic. So I want to encourage everyone to practice your logic. Practice it every day. Think about it a lot. Think about what the word means and apply it and watch the cogs in your brain start moving better than they have. So the whole point of having the warrior's mentality is to be able to be a friend to anyone and a good asset and ally to anybody. The reason why we train warrior training isn't to become a strong enemy, which is what I will become if need be. But we practice our humility, we practice our endurance, we practice patience. So those things kind of come hand in hand. And I've always been a very fiery person. I have a lot of anger deep inside of me. It's why I have my ups and my lows when I talk. I've always been a good speaker too. I'm not monotone. I don't drone on. I can always come to a conclusion or a point in my sentences. The main thing is, though, is why so much training? Why so much weapons training? Why so much hands-on training? And the reason is because when I go to bed at night, the more I overwhelm myself with these things here, with the weapons, with learning katas, learning strikes. When I go to bed at night, instead of thinking of stressful things and money and anything that'll deter you from thinking positively, these will replace it because I'm too busy thinking of what's my next weapon I want to get. Can I get some more arrows? There's a new place to shoot. Let me find a new target. A new bow staff. That's a big thing for me. The new bow staff is a lot to me right now. I'm really, 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 really happy I got this new staff. It's a really good staff too. But I encourage people to practice your logic, apply it in life, and really, really use it real well because it's one of the biggest mental tools that we have is our logical thinking. Americans, I really am starting to look at our language, and we were bred for war. We really were. We were bred for war. It's why we have such an aggressive tone in our voices compared to other nations. They're more calm and collective, whereas we're very disciplined, usually. But most Americans now have become spoiled brat, little beta cuck boys and shit, and it's very true. You see them all the time. There's very few people with that warrior mentality left, and especially right now, the way things are going, they're not going back to normal anytime soon. People want to talk about things going to normal. Normal's not going to happen again. You have to adapt. And right now, the way to adapt is really apply logical thinking. Don't join a collective in a time like this, because then you're just giving away your freedom. People preach freedom right now, especially with July 4th. It was right around the corner. It was right around the block, July 4th just passed. We're celebrating our freedoms. More fireworks than we've ever had before, even during this time. There's been more fireworks shot in this 4th of July than there has any other 4th of July because of what's going on right now. People really celebrating their freedom. But they're so quick to join a collective. And I mean, you're born into a collective sometimes. Christianity, Jehovah's Witness, those kind of collectives, I mean, they're good, I guess you could say. If it works for you, keep working it. Hey, but I'm not going to allow my mind to be instilled in any set collective until I feel like I'm really ready. If I feel like there's a collective that I really want to join and I feel comfortable with it and I've done my research on it and I've read the narrative plenty enough to see my end game, then so be it. Maybe join one. But as for now, I'm a free thinker. I'm going to keep free thinking too. Keep your freedom alive by not enslaving your mind. It's okay to question a collective and read the narrative and study it, look into it. It's okay, but do not dedicate yourself right away. Don't become a left-winger. Don't become a right-winger. Don't become a Republican. Don't become a Democrat. Stay free thinking. And that will keep your mind open to so many avenues. You lock yourself down mentally, you're locking down everything else. And that's what these people don't get, is that there's so many collectives out there with so many narratives written already. People who are not free thinkers feel so comfortable just joining up with one of these collectives. So practice your free thinking, study your logic, really apply it in life constantly. It'll make you every single day that you start really paying attention to the way you think logically as a step towards just financial gain, everything. You use logic in a job interview. You use logic in conversation. You use logic in everyday life. You have to think logically. Don't let insanities or I don't know, overzealous thoughts really take over. Because then you start becoming a slave to your mind. And your mind's a powerful place, and it can enslave you very, very easily, you know? So make sure you have your own directive. Guide your own path, really, especially now with what's going on. We need free thinkers. We don't need collective groups, because they're the ones causing the damage, as you see. It's best to take these problems one-on-one with someone who's in power, who can instill some kind of force into your thinking. The collectives are just there. They're already calling BLM a terrorist organization because of the 3 letters. You put letters to a collective and call it an organization, it can become something else. It can become a terrorist group. It can become anything. That's the thing. You don't know the narrative end game. Write your own end game. Study the collectives. Study the narratives. Take what you want out of them. Really do, and apply them logically to life if you have to. Like Bruce Lee said, the same thing with martial arts. Take everything out of every type of martial art that you can and apply it to yourself. If it works for you, it works for you. Good. It doesn't have to work for someone else. It really doesn't. Just make it apply to you. This is the same idea that comes into collective mind thinking. Be independent. Be free-flowing. Be able to change whenever you want. If you instill yourself in some kind of a collective, especially what's called collective, not Democratic or Republican, but what's the word I'm looking for? God damn it, it's on the tip of my tongue and I fucking know this. A political. If you join a political fucking party, you've joined a collective and you're not open. If you're free thinking, you can always take parts of each side of these and apply them to a good general direction, a good spear point. Otherwise, you're going into a blind alley, as we would call it. So remember, everybody, practice your free thinking. Please don't join collectives. For all my followers out there, study your logic. I press that real hard on people. Study your logic. Be of service in a way, too. By me doing all the training I'm doing, it's of service to myself. It's of service to the people around me, because if they know that I'm training, they know that I'm ready for battle if some shit goes down. I'm not going to run and turn coat. I'm going to use my skills and try to apply them where they're needed, right? That's why we train, so that we can strengthen the group, strengthen the chain, strengthen the individuality, and as individuals together, 3 individuals, 4 individuals, good generals with good camps, good thinking, good logic, really make a great team. They really do. It's very hard to take the outcasts and the sluggish ones who are lagging below and cannot think for themselves and bring them up to your level, because they're set in their ways. And they're set in their ways with their groups too, which are weak. Us individuals, us warriors, our free thinking will rise above all that and will always become just outside your box. I don't live in your world. You live in mine. This is my world. I control my things. If I feel threatened, I retreat. If I need to advance, I will advance with good compassion and calm and logic. If you need to go on the attack, you need to be a logical thinker. You cannot just be chaotic and sporadic. That is where you endanger your group, you endanger yourself. If you cannot think clearly at all times, which is logic, then you are a danger to society, the people around you, friends and family, bad habits. All those things come into play. So remember this, you guys. Please, please, please. Practice your logic. Practice your free thinking. And study. Study something. If you're not a hands-on type person and you don't work out, grab something you used to do as a kid. Jump rope. Something. Get yourself active. Get moving. You know? And it's always good to sit around and relax. It really is.